Welcome back everyone to a series where I turn your ideas into brand new Pokemon. In this episode, we will see something new compared to other episodes. That's right, I'm talking about a Mega Evolution. We have a Mega Evolution for a Pokemon that really needs it, and I'm really happy with the result, so I hope you like it. But first, let me show you some other ideas from our viewers. The first idea of the day comes from Chai T, who's been consistently commenting that they want a future Paradox Mimikyu inside a mech, like if it were Iron Man. As well as Chomp Wise, who wants a ghost inside a mech. So that's 2 for 1, let's get to it. I wanted it to fly like a rocket, similar to how Iron Man does, and I gave it some fire spikes popping out from the sides imitating Mimikyu's body, poking out from under the cloth. Meet Iron Scavenger, the Paradox Pokemon. In the distant future, the Pokemon Mimikyu still feels the need to imitate Pikachu. However, now it does it by building its costume out of scraps from other Paradox Pokemon. It even installed a solar panel in its mech in order to generate electricity to mimic Pikachu's powers. As for its abilities, I gave it the same ability all Paradox Pokemon have, Quark Drive. Stat wise, I gave it 570 base stats in total, just how most Paradox have, but I gave it Pikachu stats at least percentage wise, so it's super fast with a decent special attack and attack, a way of emphasizing how much it imitates Pikachu. Next, this viewer said they wanted me to do something with Mimikyu. Anything. Well, I hope you aren't full yet, because we're still going to see one more Mimikyu form. While we just saw a future Paradox, this other viewer wants a regional form that is ghost and normal. So let's get to it. For a long time, I wanted to create a Pokemon that had an old cartoon look to it, so I think now's a good time for it. Meet Mimikyu, the rubber hose Pokemon. While Alola's Mimikyu is jealous of Pikachu, this regional variant is actually a big fan. A few decades ago, there was a very popular cartoon showcasing Pikachu on a steamboat. Mimikyu can often be found in abandoned cinemas enjoying this film on a loop. It became such a fan that it ended up dressing up as this version of Pikachu, being extra careful with its craftsmanship to be as accurate as possible. As for ability, I kept regular Mimikyu's ability, Disguise. It wouldn't make much sense for it to lose it, but I changed its stats a bit, making it more of a special attacker just to switch things up a bit. Also, if you are wondering how it walks, 2 long legs pop out from underneath and walk like an old style cartoon. Well, I hope you like the special attention on Mimikyu. It's actually one of my favourite Pokemon, so I really enjoyed these. Next, we have the long awaited Mega Evolution. Many of you, and I mean a lot of you, really wanted me to make a Mega for Ledian. Oh, only 2 of you. I don't know why, I thought it was way more. But a lot of you really wanted me to make a Power Ranger or Kamen Rider Pokemon, so I decided to give Mega Ledian one of these themes. So I checked its stats and thinking that if I can only give it 100 stat boost, there is no way I can actually make it viable. Even if I gave it huge power, I don't think it would be enough. So I came up with a custom ability which might actually make it broken. So broken that I didn't even boost its offensive stats. Anyway, this ability had to do with the Power Ranger theme I mentioned earlier, so I went with that in the end. When Ledian reacts to its Ledianite, it Mega Evolves into Mega Ledian, a bug and cosmic type Pokemon. Thanks to absorbing the power of the stars all of its life, it became able to emit some astral images of itself from the dots on its back. These astral images will aid it in combat, making it capable of creating amazing combinations with perfect teamwork with its astral projections. So the ability that I was talking about was astral projection, which makes it so that all of its attacking moves become multi-hit moves. So it will always attack 2 to 5 times. I know it's probably too much, especially if you combine it with moves with a secondary effect like Power Up Punch, Struggle Bug or Air Slash. But still, I think it's a fun ability and probably the only way to make it decent. As for its stats, well, with an ability like that, I couldn't give it too high of an offensive stat, so I made it a mixed attacker with 50 base points in each one. The rest of the points, I added a bit to its speed, but not too much, just a base 105, which is still decent, and the rest to its defense, so that it doesn't just get one shot by any priority attack, as its HP is really low and Megas don't get boost to that stat. Anyway, what do you think of Mega Ledian? Did I make it too broken? If so, how would you balance it? Now, sadly, I didn't have enough time to make a second Mega Evolution for an existing Pokemon, but if this video does well, I would love to make another one for you, so please subscribe, like the video and comment your idea for a new Mega. Next, we have an idea from Games with Harsh, who wants a potion Pokemon who has a split evolution depending on the potion. I actually already made a potion Pokemon for Pokédex fillers a few months ago, although It doesn't have a split evolution, but it does have a mega evolution and a custom move where its damage is doubled if it's holding a berry, but this also consumes the berry. Maybe we could make it so that the berry also affects the attack's secondary effect. Meet Spiritual. This fairy and poison type Pokemon tricks people and other Pokemon with its cute appearance in order to make them gather ingredients for its potions, which it will then test on them. That said, if you're a good trainer, this Pokemon will be able to create really powerful potions that can help you in your adventure. For its abilities, I thought that Liquid Ooze would be fitting. You really shouldn't be drinking random potions from this Pokemon's body, as well as Healer, which I can see this Pokemon being a good support in double battles. And for its hidden ability, Rippin. As most of its toolset depends on berries, I think that this is quite fitting. If you add Recycle to its moveset, it might be pretty good. For the evolution, I wanted to make it resemble the old lady from Snow White, where it looks frail and tries to trick other Pokemon into eating an apple which is drenched in its potion so that it can test its effects. I also made the lid on its head to look like a witch hat. Also, an idea that I got thanks to a viewer's request. What if it changes its secondary type, poison, into something different when it consumes a berry, which will also come with a color change? Meet Haggard, the brewing Pokemon. It makes potions out of its body that it tests on other Pokemon. Its body is easily influenced by the ingredients you chuck in it, so depending on the berry it consumes, it changes its secondary typing, as well as the type of its signature attack, Potion Prowess, to match its new type. I made these different color versions depending on the berry it consumes: fire, water, grass, and electric. But there are a lot of berries, so we could probably have one for every type. Also, I made this something passive that happens in battle, but not an actual ability. Do you think it should be the result of an ability, or is it fine that it still has its other abilities? As for its stats, I can't imagine it being anything else except a slow, tanky Pokemon with a hard cauldron and a squishy liquid main body. Both these attributes scream high defense and special defense in my opinion. And we even gave it a Mega Evolution, which is based on the Baba Yaga. More specifically, its house. In this old folkloric tale, the witch lives in a house with chicken legs that walks around. So I decided to give it these legs as a reference to that. Like that, the design changes more than just its color. In this case, it wouldn't be able to hold a berry, so it would have to go all out on its poison prowess. Meet Mega Haggard. Its body is composed of so many chemicals that it's gone completely toxic, so much that even steel and poison type Pokemon would be affected by it. Obviously, this means that I gave it the ability Corrosion. Stat wise, its speed increased a bit as it now has legs, but nothing noticeable, and its defense and special defense went up, as well as its special attack. And for the final design of the day, Magic 3550 wants a nice and flying type Pokemon with a Mega, and Cheese Muncher and Chompy Wise want a nice and ghost type Pokemon. Well, I so happen to have something that fits all of this. This design was also commissioned for Pokédex fillers. He needed a nice and flying type Pokemon, and I just so happened to have an idea written down for a nice and flying type bat Pokemon that eventually evolves into a nice and ghost type. For his video, we kept it as a nice and flying type, as that was what the wheel decided. But my design still works for both typings, so you can choose whatever type you prefer. Meet Bachu, the sneezing Pokemon. It has a constant cold, so most Pokemon don't want to get close to it in case it gets infected. Its nose is frozen solid, and it keeps expanding as its fever gets worse. The bigger it is, the closer it is to evolving. As for its abilities, I went with Snow Cloak and Ice Body for logical reasons, and Frisk for its hidden ability, as most bat Pokemon have this thanks to their echolocation. So the origin of this concept is quite interesting. It's based on the white nose syndrome, a fungal disease that affects bats, where their nose starts going white until they eventually die. So the idea is changing the white fungus into ice. So the Pokemon has a frozen nose that keeps expanding until its face is covered into the shape of an Oni mask. As I mentioned earlier, my original idea was for it to be a nice and flying type that evolves into an ice and ghost type. That's because the Pokemon eventually dies. Oops, that's harsh. So for this video, I'll keep the original idea of turning it into a ghost type. Meet Nocturnal, the masked demon Pokemon. After falling to its disease as Bachu, it will evolve into Nocturnal. This Pokemon hangs from ceilings upside down, waiting for its prey to peer below and let itself fall on top of it, stabbing it with its pointy frozen ears. Stat wise, I pretty much just gave it Golbat stats, but I edited them a bit. So it's a bit tankier, but slower. Considering it will get a Mega, I don't want to make it too strong yet. As I mentioned, we even gave it a Mega Evolution. The idea was quite simple, keeps growing until it fully covers its face. I gave it nice and silky hair for one specific reason. I thought they looked really cool and creepy like this. And what used to be its icy tail now looks like a braided beard, which looks kinda Nordic, but it wasn't intentional. When Nocturnal reacts to Nocturnite, it would Mega Evolve into Mega Nocturnal. With its face finally fully covered by an icy mask, it shows a scary face that intimidates its opponents. I imagine this Pokemon being quite annoying, quite fast with U-turn and parting shot, so it's constantly switching out, lowering its opponent's stats, allowing the next Pokemon to come in to set up and sweep. Stat-wise, I gave it some extra bulk, which with the ability to Intimidate should make it quite hard to defeat, even if it's a special attacker, as its special defense is quite good. And that's it for today's video. I hope you all enjoyed the new designs, and remember to like and subscribe so that I can afford a better outro, and let me know down in the comment section your amazing ideas for a Mega Evolution. See you in the next one.